What is up with it? Today we are back watching a little bit more of the online treasure cup. This is going to be my boy Zoru on blue Doflamingo versus Jewelry Bonney, Copeman. And you can watch more of this treasure cup on the Eggman's YouTube channel. Shoutouts to the Eggman and OPTCG for streaming this event. It would appear as though most likely Copeman won the rock, paper, scissors and chose to go second. Or maybe Zoru won the rock, paper, scissors and chose to go first. I actually don't know if he prefers first or second. I prefer second personally. I used to prefer first back in 09, but I think second is a little bit better now. But he's going to go ahead and start off with a Sengoku search. Homie really has to keep his hands in frame. Holy shiz. That is crazy. Holy shiz. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Okay, wait. Opponent is also not keeping their hand in frame. Maybe this is just the way that it's laid out on stream and it doesn't actually appear this way on Discord. We're gonna blind whiff. Well, not whiff. We hit buggy, but basically a whiff. Yeah, I'm just, based on the fact that both players are doing it, I'm gonna go ahead and assume this is just a stream thing and not a like both players are not showing their hands on the Discord. But I like Zoru keeping track of the opponent's dice. We're gonna go ahead and Bonney search, look at the top 5. Adding an 8-cost Rosinante, not something you see especially often. It does come up sometimes though. We're going to go ahead and swing 5 at what I imagine is, yes, the Sengoku. We're going to go ahead and pay 2 for a Rosinante blocker. And we'll pass here. The opponent having 8 cards in hand. Oh my goodness. Yo, this is going as oh wait, never mind. It's not blind. It's not blind because we knew about the buggy. I'm tripping. I'm wondering, okay, opponent's gonna block. I was wondering if they were gonna do that. Oh, we're gonna play out another buggy. This is not going exactly how we'd hope. Maybe this is okay though. It makes it so that even if our opponent like tries to swing over the buggy, we will still have another one to bounce with Jozu, I think is what we're trying to most likely accomplish here. I mean, we are also going into 7 Dawn. Oh, a little 1-drop blocker loss spice. Also, has anyone else ever noticed that 100% of Bonney players have Bonney sleeves? Has anyone ever noticed this? Is it just me? I feel like I played a Bonney player in the online regional this same weekend, and he also had the Bonney sleeves, and I just feel like they just always do. Maybe I'm capping. Let me know. So gonna go ahead and play out a smoker here. We're gonna be able to use this Bonney effect if we want. But we're not going to. We're just going to play out, I believe that's just a second one. Makes sense. We can just hold these for once we have Captain Kid on the board. I think that's generally how Bonney players should be playing it. He doesn't need another card in his hand. His hand is big enough already. I don't think there's actually 8 cards in it. I think Zoru has gotten a little lazy with updating the dice. Oh, okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and play this Weevil. No Jozu here. Gonna go ahead and have a teach. So I'm wondering if this buggy didn't have anything to hit off the top. And perhaps we just had this Weevil already in our hand. What I'll say so far I think this is going significantly better for the Bonney player than it is for Zoru. And the Bonney player is going to elect to rest the Teach, which means we're going to get a couple 7s at life here. We do have this 1-drop blocker law to help protect our Teach, which is nice. But our opponent is going to have at least the Smoker and their leader to swing at it, so it does feel not especially likely that we'll be able to protect it unless we're willing to really shell out some cards. So now we're on 8 Dawn as the Bonney player. We could see the 8-drop Rosinante hit the board here. Maybe playing a Cavendish. And there's the Cavendish, yeah. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. Oh, wait. No, we're only on 8 Dawn. So we would have needed the Cavendish in our hand before having to search for it. Because if we restand with Smoker, we won't get to restand with Cavendish. But if we already had the Cavendish in hand, we could play out the Rosinante, allowing us to play out. Okay, so I think this is at the Teach, and we're going to go ahead and block. I'm guessing this Smoker will also go ahead into the Teach. And yep, the Teach will die. But if we had the 8 Dawn, we could go Rosinante into Cavendish, restand 2 Dawn, use the 2 Bonnies, search twice, then Smoker effect, restand another one. So we still have one more for leader effect. And that would have been a pretty deadly turn. However, Smoker turns us off from restanding, so we can't restand with Smoker, then play Rosinante, then restand with Cavendish. A bit of a restriction on what is otherwise an extremely potent card. 5-7 being kind of a magic number, as I'm sure many of you are noticing as you play more EB format. Okay, really thinking about what to do with these last 7 Dawn. I have to imagine it includes playing Cavendish, probably a small blocker if we have one, and then leaving up some Dawn. Yep, pain 2. Okay, or pain 3 rather. Oh, I was like, what is happening here? So we're actually choosing not to put the Cavendish on board. I think being a little scared of a potential gravity blade, not wanting to get blown out by that. And maybe being willing to just save the Cavendish for next turn when we can play it along with a Rosinante. So we have 3 Dawn left. I also don't think we've even... Oh, and we get the draw from the Bart, which is very, very nice. That's a very nice combo here. That said, it's possible that having 15 cards in our hand is not going to be exactly what we want. Okay, so we actually are just going to pitch out that Rosinante. Gonna rest 2 more for what I imagine is a Rosinante. No, it's just another searcher. Okay, he's saying, look, I don't care if you pudding me. I'm just gonna draw 15 cards next turn anyways, even if you do. I think he only has like 8 in hand anyways. Wow. This is an exceptionally annoying board to deal with if you are Doflamingo. Of course, if you are something like Lucci, this entire board gets deleted for free. Thinking of swinging... So we're on 9 Dawn here. Thinking of swinging the Weevil first. Okay, gonna play out, once again, another Buggy. Buggy is our best friend, it appears. Gonna put those back on top. This is a tricky situation to tackle. We can swing into all three one drops if we really want to. But I'm not 100% sure that's the best use of our turn. I kind of feel like we're playing Law here to bounce the buggy and maybe bounce the Bart. Really thinking about it though. Oh, gonna go ahead and swing Weevil first. Okay, I have to imagine the leader is always getting rested here. Yeah. Yep, and the Law does come down as expected. Gonna go ahead and bounce the bounce itself. And then we're gonna go ahead and play the pudding. Very, very well played turn. Able to remove all of those searchers and bounce the Bart and pudding. Very, very, very well played. Also, I imagine we put the Law back into our hand just to try and prevent any further shenanigans in the future. We could have returned the buggy quite easily, but we did not. Okay, so cutting a couple times. Gonna draw for turn, so back to 6 cards in hand. And yeah, this has taken a huge turn in Zoru's favor. Definitely not the end of the game yet. Plenty of game left to be played, but that was a huge swing turn for sure. And there's the all-important Jozu. We're going to go ahead and play out a Shanks KOing this Boa. I actually would have preferred to KO one of the Weevils, to be honest, but that's just me. Gonna go ahead and go 8 and leader skill. Not 100% sure where we're going 8. I think we went 8 at the smoker, and then we went and bottom decked. Ooh, this is cool. This is sick, actually. And now going 8 again. So just taxing some cards. Taxing some cards for sure. Probably should not be taking the Dawn off the Weevil, to be honest. But sometimes I do the same thing too. It just kind of feels kind of cluttered. So I get it. Okay, so going to be able to take both the Teach and the Weevil away. Going to go ahead and play out the Cavendish, letting us restand a couple Dawn. Feel like Copeman was kind of playing with the Dawn in kind of a silly way right there. Not exactly sure what was going on there, but restanding another Dawn with the Smoker. And now we're going to play out a Carrot. So we have the full trifecta going here. Really going to be looking for a Gravity Blade here. I think our hand is quite sparse, though. I'm not sure we have too many options. That said, the hand of the Bonney player is also looking pretty light. if we do have the Gravity Blade, which we don't, and this is, oh, interesting. Gonna grab back the Teach. That's not exactly what I was expecting to be grabbed there. But this does allow us to swing much bigger at the Smoker, which is definitely very relevant. Also gets this Weevil out of our hand. I believe only 2 cards in Zoru's hand. And the Bonney player is going to continue to rest the Teach. So it's going to be an easy thing to kill here. Bonney player, I believe, also only has maybe 3 cards in hand. Yeah, 3 cards in hand based on the dice. Zoru only has, I believe, 2. So a very, very, very low resource game is what we've established ourselves into. I would say Bonney is a little bit ahead here, being able to freeze some resources. Also, you know, being the deck that theoretically is a little bit better later in the game, having some big bombs that we can top deck into. Also just having, you know, a more threatening board. A little bit of lag. I'm wondering if this was on Eggman's side or the Discord side. Oh, wow. We have 4 5-drops in play. And this is looking very bleak. Very, very, very bleak. Most of our board is frozen. We will probably get to swing over one of these. If we do have the Gravity Blade, certainly a comeback could be made. Only 1 card in the opponent's hand. If we do have the Gravity Blade, I'm pretty willing to just swing 7 and say, look, you do not have a 2K in hand. Could also make an argument that it's just not worth the risk, especially because we don't even know what's on top of our deck. Oh, really, really considering here our options. And then the question becomes, what do you remove with Gravity Blade? What do you swing into? I think in a low resource game like this, generally I like getting rid of the Cavendish, but I think here I'm actually okay. Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, so the opponent has a brick in their hand, and we're going to go ahead and go 7 at the Cavendish. And we're going to just Red Rock the Carrot. Wow, I'm not sure I've ever seen Red Rock used on a 5-drop in this matchup before. Though this is not the most popular of matchups. Considering both of these decks have decently low play rates right now. Of course, in 09, those play rates were a little bit higher. Again, removing the Dawn from our characters, I get it. I sometimes do it too, particularly when I'm nervous. But we probably should not be doing it. Definitely is against the rules. The opponent seems unbothered by it. I don't think many people would be bothered by it, particularly because Doflamingo isn't necessarily a deck that can do anything with Dawn on the opponent's turn, whether active or rested. So I can't really imagine a world where it actually affects the game state. But just generally not something you want to do. Okay, so I believe there is a kid on the board here. And we're just going to leave it standing, saying, look, no reason to rest it when I only have 1 card in hand. And we're going to go ahead and play out a Boa here. And I imagine we're going to swing into this Smoker. Oh, bottom decking. Maybe just 1. Yeah. Okay. Yep, just going to bottom deck. Alex, for some reason, just allowing... Okay. Definitely some movements there that could be sharked if the opponent wanted to. But it doesn't appear they're going to. I don't think most people would. I'm actually not sure exactly what the ruling is there. But I could imagine a world where someone attempted to. Yeah, I definitely like just swinging 7 with leader rather than what it appeared he was originally going to do. If we don't have Red Rock, I'm not... Yeah, I guess we do actually just have to kill the opponent. Like, we're at 2 life. Okay, fair enough. I don't know what this card is. Is this a boa? This is a boa. The glare is, like, unbelievably bad. Hody Jones and we might just be able to kill. I mean, we do know there's a 2k in hand, so it's actually pretty unlikely that we'd get to kill, but it literally could happen. We're like really... We're on edge of Hody territory for sure. But the pudding definitely saving the day in this particular match. Okay, Coatman really considering his options here. Perfectly reasonable. I think the game is going to end in the next couple turns and they still have plenty of time. Both players have more or less been playing at a pretty reasonable pace throughout this match. So don't necessarily mind taking a little bit more time to really consider the options here. Kind of funny that the Bonney player is the one rocking the Doflamingo Don. Really considering what we want to do here. Okay, we know we're always putting a Don on kid, so we can start there. That's step 1. Now the question is, what do we do with our other 9 Don? Okay. It's been a bit over a minute. I do kind of wonder... I don't think that Coatman is like purposefully slow playing, but if someone was purposefully trying to slow play, you know, you have to make actions within like, you know, a reasonable time frame. Does attaching a Dawn count as making an action? You know what I mean? Like clearly swinging with this kid counts as making an action. If you say you get 30 seconds in action, right? Or whatever it is. I don't know. In Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like roughly like 30 seconds, but it's also like kind of judgment based. But like generally if you're making an action every 30 seconds, you're good. Would just attaching a Dawn and then waiting 30 more seconds before you do anything else, would that count? I wonder. But gonna go ahead and swing 10, which is going to get through on the Weevil. Gonna go ahead and swing, I believe this is 7. Yeah, gonna swing 7 at what I imagine is the Moria. Very interesting sequencing by Copeman. Okay, maybe gotta play a blocker. Okay. I don't really understand why we went 10 and 7. I think 8 and 9 would have been a lot better, to be completely honest. Because doing the 7-10 just allows us to be block 2K'd. I wonder if the glare kind of concealing the boa kind of made Copeman overlook it. Definitely possible, honestly. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go. I don't know what number this is, but this is just not the correct way to do this. I mean, it actually doesn't matter. Never mind. We only have 2 6K bodies, so it actually doesn't matter. If we had more than 2 6K bodies, then we would have wanted to swing with the 6K body first, but it doesn't matter. But gonna go ahead and take that poke 5 after blocking and then taking. I believe, I'm not even sure what that is. Oh, is that a Hody Jones? Okay, so maybe did that 7 swing to try and get the 2K counter. Oh, are those 4 1s? Oh, 4 1s to survive. The life were 2 1Ks. Wow. Right? Because, wait, what type of swing was that? How big was that? Oh, or wait, no, that's a 9K swing. He doesn't have it. Oh, he doesn't have it. Yeah. That's a 9. It's not an 8. We went 7, 8, 9. So by countering last turn actually caused us to die this turn. So maybe that was actually a big brain play from Copeman. Maybe he knew, you know, I have to kill one of these. So I'm going to go ahead and kill it. And then the second thing, I'm going to try and just get a 2K out of his hand. So that way next turn I can set up for lethal. If so, that was like a really heads up smart play. If that was all intentional, that was like a very, very heads up smart play. And like in the moment, you know, I thought it was pretty bad to like give him the opportunity to block 2K. And I would have done the same thing. I would have blocked 2K'd. But thinking about it now, it did most certainly open us up to Hody. And all it really did by saving it was get a 5K poke in. Yeah. So if Alex's first life was a 2K, he gets there. If it's 2K, 1K, he gets there. Or if it's 1K, 2K, he gets there. But he had, you know, been through several 2Ks. I think he put like 4 buggies on the board or something obscene like that. Wow. If Copeman is watching this, I would love to know if that was intentional to try and bait the 2K so then the following turn you could go Hody. That was a banger of a game, actually. That was a really, really good game. Wow. But thank you all so much for watching, and shout outs to my supporters on Metafy, Arib, Zutu, I don't know, Inku, God Josh, Chinito, N9 Jose, Cho, Ohigi, Bandit, Furry Zerg, Zerunix, Reckless, Felix, KJM, Waynerax, Great Poner, Tailshoot, Debo, Hendrick, Emon, Chance, Mistaken Carpet, Logan, Captivate, Zephyr, Joyboy, and Ivan, Jake, and Y-Box. I appreciate you all so much for supporting me. Appreciate everyone for watching this, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.